Good to see you, Susanna. Good to see you, LG. Welcome in, the Tankella. Good to see you. We're looking at the California Nebula, also known as the Dragon Nebula. Oh. Yeah, I don't think I can look at them. If you see the telescope there, it's pretty particular. Welcome back, Demi. Hi. Welcome in, Tammy. Yeah, luckily I don't see too many UFOs, UAPs. Call them what you call them. I'm still going to call them UFOs. They are what they are. So much weird stuff flying around out there anymore. Some of it's military, some of it's questionable. It makes me wonder how many of them are just random people. Tammy, we are probably going to go live on Saturday. We're shooting for 5 p.m. our time. Not sure if that's exactly how it'll go, but that's what we're aiming for. It'll be a nice little short live. We're gonna go check out Holiday Lights. I have to reach out to one of our friends and find out if we can find a quick parking spot for an extra special treat. Oh, no worries, sweet. You haven't missed much. I've pretty much started with this. This is kind of what I've been looking at since I started preparing for the live. Actually, I want to shut this down momentarily and show off the planets I got earlier. Because I thought those were pretty impressive. I will image this again. This was just kind of something to look at for a minute. And just to let Chris know, or let Sweet know, we're looking at the California Nebula, which is also known as the Dragon Nebula. Kind of see the eyeball there, and definitely seeing a dragon face. But I wanted to look at let's see. That one. That was from tonight. Tina, get your ear off my phone. Thank you. Yeah, the way I actually did both of these images is I made a short video of them, and then I stacked the images. An elephant? I don't know. That's supposed to be a dragon. Or California. You might have some lag too, Dimmy. We're now looking at Jupiter and Saturn and Xena. You're such a dog. You are such a dog. Such a dog. Why do you want to be up in my face? I bite back. I do, I bite back, and you know it. I feel the need to go back to Jupiter though, but I want to go back there live. It was looking beautiful. I stepped outside just before I started this up, and it is crunchy, crisp, and beautiful out there. I didn't know you wanted to dance, Goofy. Didn't know you wanted to dance. Welcome in, Gator. Did you get everything cleaned up? Oh, yeah. It's because I'm being shoved away from my microphone by my dog. Excuse me. Scram. Get lost. Okay, check, check. Check, check. I had not heard that. Yeah, we really need one. But we need to get this desk out of here first. And then I'm down. So if you guys looked at that picture just a few moments ago, that moon that's the closest, and I'd have to look it up to see what it is real quickly, but that moon that was the closest is moving away from Jupiter. I thought it was going to transit, but tells you what I know. I didn't do my homework before I started the stream. I usually do at least a little bit. Correct, BJ. Welcome in. Screen showing. A little less junk showing. There we go. Jupiter's lovely. Oh, here at the casa. Let's see. Helps if I open the right one. 33. Might get some rain tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. Thought we were gonna get some today and it didn't happen. Get back here. That's sexy. I have to try to remember to keep the mouse off of the screen. It's definitely confusing. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I forgot to adjust Nightbot too, so my bad. All the things I forget to do. We'll do some stuff. I love how that battery backside looks like either a recycling sign or something like that. It's crazy. Let's see if we can tighten up that focus. Pizza was good. Pizza was from Casey's. Really? Man, it is just crazy bright. That's probably why. There's just so much to it. Ooh, look at that. Let's see what we get. Come on by, I got some left. I mean, I couldn't exactly eat a whole pizza. I only had 3 pieces, but I'll probably have one later. It was very good. I think it was Zach. Okay, I'm gonna sneak over here. I just don't know if I can beat that one that I took earlier. That was a nice, crisp shot. Gator and Dimmy probably do not get Casey's Pizza. Can't remember it being too terribly far west of Iowa. So I don't know how far east it goes either. That's not bad, but it sure washed those moons out. Bummer. Okay, that was fun. Not so good. Oh, dang. Okay. Well, let's see if that'll correct things. I think my music ended up accidentally getting turned way up. Yeah, it's gas station pizza, but it's best pizza around here. Come on down, we'll hook you up with some Casey's Pizza. We could probably get a free one with the number of points that we rack up from that place. I love how I just literally how skinny those rings look. Yeah, how was your dinner, BJ? Dang. Yeah. They're good. Casey's is good stuff. Yeah, this was just today. This was just tonight. No, this is Deneb. That's where I started. I've got the mic cranked up. I don't get it. Unless I'm not looking at it or something. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, we'll try this and see what happens. I don't know what I'm messing with, so. Yeah, I know BJ's the only one who's getting it correctly. Probably. Unless I start slurring or something. And then he'd still probably get it. So this is Deneb, which is kind of where I started tonight. And then I went ghost hunting. This is, I believe, I'd have to look it up, but I believe that was the Casper the Ghost one we were looking at the other night. And then this is the Ghost of Cassiopeia. Welcome in, Logan boy. We're pretty friendly around here for the most part. And Saturn with its nice little tight ring set right now, which is fun to look at. It's always fun when you can see the rings almost all the way around. Shh. Xena, stop. This is the California Nebula, also known as the Dragon Nebula. And I don't think it's too terribly hard to identify either of those things. You know, I haven't named it yet, but Tiny but Mighty. Maybe I'll just kind of call it Tiny. It needs to be graffitied at some point. My other one's pretty well graffitied. Between the dings and dents on it and the stickers, it's definitely been graffitied. I want to find those parts and put those in here at our next possible chance. Yeah, our studio definitely needs a little bit of a work over yet. It got the beginnings and then it got put on hold. Oh no, I'm definitely not. I'm doing 10-second rolls. Well, you can see how much time. I don't think I put very much time into that. Yeah, there was only 120 10-second exposures on that, so it wasn't a lot. I mean, some of them I've definitely got a lot more time invested into them. Just a hobbyist, absolutely just a hobbyist. Merely advancing over time and slowly at that. It's just fun. That's why I don't even consider this stream to be educational. It's as educational to me as it is to anybody else. And primarily I'm certainly not a professional. I have fun. I've definitely got some really nice shots over time. As you know, let me just pull you over into a slideshow, and you can see what kind of fun stuff we've been able to get. This is Comet Lemon. I believe this to be the North American Galaxy. Or the North American Nebula, sorry. M42 Orion. That is the Triangulum Galaxy, or Nebula, Galaxy. That is one of the, it's either the East or the West Veil Nebula. That is the Wizard Nebula. That is the Pelican Nebula. That is the Pleiades cluster. Our lovely moon. I believe that was supermoon night. Might not have been. It was close though. An average shot of Saturn. Another shot of Orion. And yeah, there's certainly, there are others. And there's more, yeah. There's more that have been done since then. But those were what I had in a slideshow for right now. I actually have, let's pull up something. Let's see what's good. I was checking out the Spider Nebula for a little while earlier. It was not coming in quickly and I was becoming bored. And that happens sometimes. Oh, let's go to an old standby. Because why not? But I do have some rather cool shots. There's one on, let's see. There's that one. That one. I think this is Andromeda. Yeah, he really was, Demi. He was way excited. I agree. Yeah, that's the one thing that has been really fun with this thing. Is just the amazing pictures that I'm able to bring in with it. And some of them actually required some, hoop jumping or whatever. But the biggest thing is essentially beating the clouds, and I may not be beating them for very much longer tonight. But we'll keep trying. We'll look at stuff. It's looking right now. We're basically just looking at the at my tablet's memory right now, so it's kind of an interesting setup that we have going on. As per what's set, as far as what we have set up here, we've got a tablet that's running on our attached to the desktop, and it's running an additional program to bring in from the telescope. So welcome in, Anime Girl. Sort of an impromptu picture show and tell, I guess. An example here is here's a bad image that I did of Swan, and then there's a good image that I did of Swan. Yeah, he snuck in under Evie. He's letting the dog rule the house for the time being, because that's what they do anyways. And this is my telescope wearing sunglasses. Like massive sunglasses. And it's not very large, obviously. I know, isn't that cute? Unable to get 3i Atlas from this telescope, unfortunately, sorry. It's a little farther out than this little booger will function. And my other one is currently not functioning, so. But yeah, it does take some really nice photos. The telescope, all in all, if I were to walk out up to it, it would only come up to about my knees, the way it's configured right now. It's about 5 pounds without the extra stuff attached to it. It's a Comet. It's a cool Comet, but it's a Comet. And that's a live view right now. Yeah, it's teeny. It's very... I think it's gonna have to get the name Tiny. I'm always calling it Tiny but Mighty, so I might just give it the name Tiny. Any objections? I do what I want anyways, but any objections? It's tiny. Does the job, though, surprisingly well. I'm always pretty happy with what it brings in. Yeah, and that's only in just a very few minutes. That is how visible that nebula is. You can last night, I think it was last night. It was one night this week. I stepped outside and I was looking at Orion because I do know where this particular object is in the sky. And I went out there and I could see it visually. And I'm not in a completely non-light polluted area. I do have light around here that can cause me grief. So, yeah, that's a nebula. Here, I'll give you a sky tour of where it is. So this really doesn't tell you too much till we back out. And once we start backing out, it'll start making a little bit of sense. So you're used to seeing the belt of Orion. That's Orion's belt right there in this image. And there's kind of a nice little representation of what Orion would look like theoretically. And if you notice down here where you've got that little bitty spot of M42, I could see that in the sky. I could see it with my naked eye. So, yeah, it was amazing. Yep, that's the constellation. So when you're looking up in the sky and you're looking relatively, well, we can go look. If I'm not mistaken, it's southeast right now. And you'll see the belt. That belt is really super easy to spot from darn near anywhere. And then below the belt, south of the belt, is the sword, and at the roughly at the tip of the sword is where those constellations are at. And you can see them. You can very clearly see them. And that's what you'd see. But I mean, what you end up seeing is something a lot more faded, but it looks like a blurry, colorful something up there if you're in good dark skies. But that's the key, is being in good dark skies. And so we're kind of in the best of both worlds. We're not so far removed from civilization, can't get a cup of coffee or, whatever. But we also don't have a ton of light around here. We're close enough to quote unquote farmland that we're not surrounded by a lot of city lights. But I could literally back the camera up around the telescope. That's quite thoroughly zoomed in. Yeah, I like tiny. It doesn't look as tiny when I zoom it in like that, but yeah. That's just so I have a nice view of whatever it might be doing. Pixelates it some, but I like tiny. Tiny's good. See where I have this red up here? I desperately need to clear the memory of this telescope. It's telling me I have 7 minutes of time in on this image, and I've got an awful lot of junk on the drive. So I'm going to go back to some planets. Actually, I'm going to have to actually exit out of that. Yeah. Yeah, the honeydew list is pretty long. So that's what the Orion Nebula looks like when you first get to it. And you can often spot that in the sky. And I'm going to prove it by going into the scenery mode, and it's going to just be pointed at the same spot. Can you see it? You can see it. You're very welcome, Logan Boy. Welcome and have a good time. Have a good night. This is proof we're not on a flat surface. Just for fun. And that's how quick we're drifting through space. I like it. But that is the nebula floating away on the screen. You guys are awesome. Thank you. True. Yeah, we're on the only flat spot on Earth. Only because I can't resist. Just zipping back and forth. Saturn was cool though when I was looking at that earlier. It's pretty low now. It's fun watching the nebulas float away when you can see them. It just takes that perspective to make it possible to see it, you know? It's like, okay, let's zoom in on something. Oh, let's see. Oh, Betelgeuse is top right. Good night, Tammy. You have a nice night. I might have to go take a look and see what the sky actually looks like. What we're looking at the moment is Jupiter. But let me pull up. I'll do it even easier here. Oh, sorry, top left. So it's essentially the top, his left shoulder. My bad. Jupiter on deck. I am going to get it a little bit better focused in. Hopefully. And then go take a look at the sky and see what it's doing. I know I was expecting some clouds tonight. I just don't know exactly when. Oh, I was just using the sky map. Google Sky Map. I do, however, want to open up okay, so we're gonna do a moon layout here. So our bottom left-hand moon is Callisto tonight. Up close is Europa. Next one out is Io. And up top is Ganymede. And give me just a second here. And Sweet knows the drill. Watch my stuff. I'll be right back. Yeah, I should put Stellarium on the phone. That would definitely be a plus. Get in the middle, mister. Oh. Okay. It ends up taking up an entire window though by itself otherwise. So I don't know if I would be able to do it and actually operate it. Because I'm having to operate the tablet. We just need another giant monitor. How's that? Just kidding. Okay, I'll be right back. Actually checking the sky for reals. Instead of from the comfort of the indoors. Uh-oh, Jupiter's trying to get away, huh? The sky is definitely getting tricky. I fear I'm going to get clouded out quite soon. Xena? Be a good kid, if you please. I do have the fancy pants on. I'm wearing a boring shirt, but I am wearing the fancy pants. Because, you know, we gotta be cool somehow. Welcome, Miss Tink. We got a bird's eye view of Jupiter tonight. Get up here. Get up there. Yeah, no, don't want it. There you go. The real star of the show. As long as she doesn't try to take over the microphone or the keyboard. Hard to look at the chat though. Do you know that? Can you type to the chat? Can you at least wave to the chat? Wave to the chat. Toddler mode on me? Yes, you do. You need to scram then. Dogs. Must have the brat dogs. She's good for right now. I don't know how much sky I have left, so we'll take what we can get while we can get it. Yeah, I'm not telling her that. I am not telling this dog that. Gets me in trouble when I tell her. So she just gets to find out when you show up. It's easier on me. Then she's not all crazy for 2 days. Well, any more crazy than usual. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of clouds out there. It was pretty much the only thing I had left to look at was pretty much Jupiter or Orion's belt, because even part of Orion was starting to become overcome with clouds, and the rest of the sky is pretty much toast. So I have tons of battery, no room to store anything, and clouds impeding my world, so I'm thinking this is gonna be not a marathon stream today, guys. So, but Tink, if you want to look at some very cool pictures, if you back up in the live or if you hit the replay later, there were a number of photos shown off that are just sitting in my arsenal. I haven't done really much of anything with. I've got some things that I want to continue to process. There's some things I just need to get rid of. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to put everything over onto a hard drive and then go from there. So we'll determine where and which hard drive where and start piling them up, because I know that there's going to be some of the raw files that I'm going to want to work over later. And I'm sure that's literally why the drive is getting all stuffed up now. It's probably pretty packed. So, it is what it is. But for the record, I'm often, if I know Jupiter is out, it is almost always a target that I'll look at. And I'll look at it at length. So, don't be surprised if I bore you at some other time with Jupiter. Because I get a kick out of this planet. I really like it a lot. I like watching the moons go around it. I like watching the moons transit it. I have not been overly successful being able to pull in the rings with this telescope, but I figure at some point I will figure it out. And I think some of it has to do with it's been extremely cold for the last little bit, and so the imaging sessions have been not optimum, and the mount that I'm using isn't helping imaging. It's cool to look at, but not so good for imaging. When it's doing this crazy bouncy stuff, it's tricky. And I know that there were some winds earlier. And yeah, it's warmer, but it's still cold. Just above freezing is not super warm. But it's above 0. Yay, team. Man, that's getting crazy. That typically is caused by clouds. You have not? Orion's pretty... If you have good enough dark skies, and you at least can locate Orion's belt, and look down from that, you might be able to see it. But it's, like I said, Jupiter seems to be getting dicey again now too, so I think the clouds are about to just completely wipe me out. I'm gonna back off on the magnification here, because sometimes that will help a little. What helps me make the decision on what to image or when to bail? Oh, the clouds. Yeah, definitely. If basically what I was looking at tonight was I knew I had a pretty small window, and I figured I'd image for a little while and then go live just for the tail end of it. I knew this was not going to be a long live, but primarily because I knew that the clouds were going to be coming in, and they were going to be coming in with a vengeance. So I know we're going to have rain tomorrow. I don't know how much. I don't think it's going to be a whole bunch, but I mean, I could be completely wrong on that note. We're supposed to have warm temperatures up through Christmas. It's supposed to be like close to 70 degrees, which is ridiculous in Illinois, as you know. But yeah. So, I mean, basically where I'm looking right now is pretty much the eastern sky. And I can step out my front door and look, just like do a quick scan and have an idea as to whether my eastern sky is going to be good, at least for a little while. But then I always hit the western sky because I know that's where it's typically coming from. And it's just been, it's the clouds have just been going like so. And Jupiter and Orion was pretty much getting wiped out. And Jupiter was just becoming like the only thing left. So I don't know how much longer we got. That's all I'm saying. I have to trust the sky, or distrust it is more correct. I swear Ed and I will eventually get lucky down at that Dark Skies Park, because there's actually an observatory there. So generally if there's an observatory there, they're not fooling around. And there's literally a roll-off top, like a barn style, with a roll-off top. And we're just like, oh, that's kind of cool. And there's plenty of places to set up outside of the observatory anyway, where you would have a large horizon. I think that's in, I think I was telling you before, it's in Champaign County. Nice park. But every camp trip but one this year, we got rained on. Every single one. We were batting a bajillion. That happens. I'm often behind. The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. Ah, there you go. That'll happen. That will happen. Yeah, the clouds are pretty much telling me I'm gonna have to give up soon. But I am kind of diehard, so as long as I'm not running out there in the rain or something, I'm good. So, just as a comical side note, when I take it into the garage and I put it on its little table to keep it away from Xena Girl, I put a grocery bag over it because a grocery bag will fit over it. Now, the other telescope, my method was very similar. I would bring it into the garage, and it wasn't a grocery bag, it was a contractor bag. So, yeah, I think Tiny's getting a sticker made for it. It's just going to say Tiny and some really cute text. I'll find something fun that I really like, and that's how it'll be. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write myself a note to do audio checks. Download images. Update my slideshow. Yeah. Not Walmart though. It's actually our local grocery store, and it's basically opaque white. And the other one was literally a contractor garbage bag, so yeah. I have no real shame there. And the reason is because it's got to be water resistant and dust resistant, essentially. So, and dang, it's freaking handy. And I don't tie it or anything. Now when we would camp and stuff, I would just put it in its case and then put it in the truck. When when we had the other telescope out camping and whatnot, what we used to do there is we would put the trash bag over the telescope tube after putting the caps and everything on. But we would put the trash bag over the telescope and the tube and the tripod, and then just put the whole thing into a small tent by itself. And that was where it got to stay for the night. It had its own tent. Not a tent that we could use as an observatory, unfortunately, or yeah, I'm sure that would have happened. But, yeah. Anywho, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go out and grab the scope, leave you guys with some tunes, but I'll go ahead and shut her down. We'll just do yeah, it's still on the rise. Now when it gets the higher up it gets, now if there's a lower arc, it's a lot easier for it to follow, and that's part of why we've got the bouncy. The other part is the fact that I'm just using the Alt-Az instead of using the polar mount, because the polar mount just gets it at the right angle to pretty much follow the horizon, so it takes a lot of the extra ups and turns out. But because of it being so cold, I choose to keep it simple, you know? It's just a quick, easy way of sticking it out there. I can level it in just a couple of seconds. And it's ready to go. So, but just so you have kind of an idea, is you go into here, you go into your advanced features, and I'm going to look just to see how level it is, and it's probably going to be slightly bouncy. Yeah. And when I originally set it, it was at 0.2. So it's just a little shaky. There's probably just a little bit of a breeze, so it's a little wiggly. But it has lots of gizmos and gadgets and things that I can screw around with and learn. And the more I learn, the better I get. So someday I'll be an expert. Ha! That's funny. But anyway, I'm gonna shut her down, which is fun to watch because it'll turn and whatnot, and actually close. And then I'm gonna run out and grab it. Woot. Alright. It's down. I'll be back. And when I get back, we will be out of here. Hey, Shy Guy, I'm just calling it a night, actually. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. If you want to hit the replay, we did go through some really nice pictures, a couple of live shots, just some random chit chat. But I'm done for the night. I got clouded out, which is not uncommon. So, you guys have a great night. Thanks for coming in, and I much appreciate you all. Much love, guys.